The Action App Library is a user interface development environment that allows you to build applications that can be deployed on any web server and also as mobile apps using Cordova. The library is a glue that pulls together other common libraries, such as Semantic UI for the user interface. So all of the functionality that's available for Semantic UI comes through and is available in your application. You can also utilize other popular table libraries, handlebars for templating, and a UI layout control that provides north, south, west, center, east functionality that would otherwise be hard to achieve. When you build an application, it is designed specifically for ease of development and maintenance. So it's an easy to learn environment. It's easy to understand what you're doing and implement things in a rapid way. But at the same time, it's a robust and powerful environment that provides an amazing amount of features and is highly scalable. Each page that you develop is in its own memory space and loads dynamically. So when you initially open the application, it's going to open only the first page and anything else you decide to initialize from other pages. Then when you go to another page, it will load all of the elements needed and build the page the first time. Everything is lazy loaded and lazily instantiated by design so that your application will always load quickly regardless of how much functionality you've added to it. It also makes the pages nice and modular, so you can pull your pages from one application to the other without having to worry about overlap. There's also a control environment that has been built into this that can make your development much easier. A quick overview of the control environment. We're going to start by loading a form because this is the most compelling aspect of this environment for most developers. As you know, as a developer, forms development is something that you have to do all the time. And when you're doing this, you want to be able to do it both for your web applications and mobile applications the same way where possible. So that's what this library provides, is a methodology where you can build a JSON object that describes what you want to build and the HTML gets built from it. So it's JSON templating. And basically it's different from a handlebars type of a template environment in that you control and write the connection between this information here and what gets outputted here. Naturally, the controls you see here are built in to the environment, and you can extend the environment with your own web controls. So what I'll do here is just quickly show that this is creating this form control. So I'm going to change this to say demo form, and I want the title to be green. So when I hit load from JSON, that will rebuild this control. It does more than just build the HTML. Each control that's built is an instance of a usable control that has standard functionality, such as get field value, set field value for your various fields. You can get all of the data as a JSON object. You can load the data as a JSON object. You can quickly make very dynamic forms that do all kinds of stuff, and the level of automatic out-of-the-box functionality you get for forms development will cover about 80% of your form development needs in a robust way. Quick example of what we mean by robust. Notice we have the ability to grab the control data as a JSON. So we basically set this up, set up all our fields. Now at this point we can see what we've entered. Grab that again and we have our new data. It's smart in that if we switch to some other option, and this option here that had 2 and 4 in it, if we load the data again, you'll see that this field got hidden because it's no longer valid in the scenario here. If we select other, then we need that, but if we don't, then we don't want those values. So see here that because the system knows that this is hidden, it will automatically not show that data. Similarly, if it is a required field, then when we validate it, you'll see that this field is required. You'll also see that some standard functionality that you can write to make your own custom validation. We made some funny ones here for 5 characters for the name. And when we validate, you can see it does the validation. So here what I'll do is I'm going to say that now when we validate, it's not one of the fields that's required. If we basically fill out the rest of the fields here, you'll see that now when we validate, it says you're good and shows us that we passed validation. But now if I switch to other, now there's a new required field. If I validate, it says, hey, you need this required information. So that is an example of the robustness of this environment. Is you can simply mark something as required. The system knows whether it's valid or not and will validate it. In addition, it will, as shown before, show you the data if it's valid, or if it shouldn't be, it will not show the data if it's not valid in the scenario. And you don't have to program all of this. This is out of the box control form functionality. In addition to that, you can programmatically say set field value, get field value on any field regardless of the type of field it is. This makes your development of forms much easier to build and maintain, because once you've set these things to required, etc., you know they're going to work the same way every time. There's other features in templating and other frameworks that we will discuss in other videos, but this is one of the features that is a compelling feature. And you'll see we have all kinds of different ways that you can make your user interfaces just using these JSON objects. You can also even use controls within other controls. Some amazingly advanced functionality comes with this open source library. And that is an overview of the Action Application User Interface Library.